Okay, so starting with problem number 4, I would suggest that for each of these problems that you draw a picture and put the information in where it belongs. Establish where you have that angle side opposite pair. That would be the first ratio in the proportion, and then from there try to figure out what they're asking you to find. Set your final ratio for the proportion. So set the problem up and turn the video back on when you're ready. If you feel comfortable enough to complete the entire problem, then turn the video back on when you are ready to see the entire problem being done. So going back to geometry, we talk about isosceles triangles. That means there are two equal angles and two equal sides. So the base angles are the two equal angles, and then the sides are also equal. So we have two of the three angles. So if I take 180 minus the 42 and 42, which is 46 and 46, which is 92, that will leave me with 88 degrees for the last one. So we have one pair. So I can go sine of Q is over side Q is equal to side P over side P. So that would be setting up a ratio we have, both numbers, and then looking for side P. So sine of 46 degrees over 26 is equal to sine of 88 degrees over P. Cross multiply. So P times the sine of 46 degrees is equal to 26 times the sine of 88 degrees. And then divide both sides by the sine of 46. To get P by itself. So P is going to be equal to 26 times the sine of 88 degrees divided by the sine of 46 degrees. So make sure I type that in correctly. Okay. So P has approximate length of 36.122. Go ahead and take a look at the next two problems. In both cases, we're asking for side lengths. Problem number 7 down here will be a little bit different because we're actually looking for angle measurement. So go ahead and complete 5 and 6 when you're ready to continue. Turn the video back on, and I will be going through problems 5 and 6 in the next clip. Okay, so in this one here, we're looking at the pair that we have is angle C, side C. So side of angle C over side C is equal to sine of angle B over side B, since that's what you're being asked to find. Cross put in the numbers, so sine of C is 67, side C is 5.3, angle B is 42, and looking for side B. Cross multiply, so B times the sine of 67 degrees is equal to 5.3 times the sine of 42. Divide both sides by the sine of 67. And so B is going to be equal to 5.3 times the sine of 42 degrees divided by the sine of 67 degrees. So B is approximately equal to 3.853. In problem 6, we have angle x, side x. We're given angle z, and we're looking for side z. So sine of x over x is equal to sine of z over z. The reason why I keep writing down the problem here, I'm trying to emphasize the setup of the ratios of these two letters are the same, these two letters are the same, even though one's an angle, one's a side. So some of you may not be doing that. I'm just trying to emphasize to everybody that the setup is the opposite pair, side angle pair, go together. So sine of 28 degrees over 9.3, sine of 73 degrees over z. Previous problems, we're going to cross multiply. So z times the sine of 28 degrees is equal to 9.3 times the sine of 73 degrees. Cross multiply by the sine of 28 degrees. To get rid of the 28, the sine of 28 on the left side, so z is by itself. So z is equal to 9.3 sine of 73 degrees divided by the sine of 28 degrees. So z is approximately equal to 18.944. Alright, so go ahead and move on to problem 7. This one's a little bit different because we're looking for an angle this time. So when you're looking for a side length, after you get the problem set up, there's 2 steps. You cross multiply, then you divide it. Cross multiply, then divide it. So there's always 2 steps. We're looking for an angle, we have to use inverse at some point to find that missing angle. So go ahead and set the problem up, do the cross multiplication, and go as far as you can. Turn the video back on when you're ready to continue, and we'll go through the problem. Alright, so in problem 7, it's sine of angle P over side P, and then sine of angle R over side R. Actually, they're asking here for angle Q. So if we know angle R, only one angle, and so to find angle Q, we're going to have to find angle R first. So once we have 2 angles, we can find the 3rd angle. So sine of angle P is 41 divided by 7.89 equals sine of R, which we don't know, over 10.1. Cross multiply. So 10.1 sine of 41 degrees is equal to 7.89 times sine of R. Then we're going to divide both sides by 7.89 to get rid of the 7.89. So sine of R is equal to 10.1 times the sine of 41 degrees divided by 7.89. This is probably where I would turn everything into a decimal number, 10.1 times the sine of 41 degrees divided by 7.89. Because at this point, this decimal number, I'm just going to write down a bunch of the digits off my calculator screen. This is the decimal number that we're going to convert into an angle measurement. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do an inverse sine to both sides. So inverse sine gets rid of the sine. So the angle is going to be the answer to the inverse sine of that decimal number that's on the calculator screen. So the inverse sine of that answer. And so R is approximately 57.121 degrees. So the original angle was 41. That would have been angle P. And then this angle is the 57.121. So angle Q, which is the angle they're asking us to find, is 81.879 degrees. So angle Q is approximately equal to 81.879 degrees. That's the answer to the problem. So the only thing that's different here is after you cross multiply, and then you got to divide again. So the first steps are the same. Set the problem, cross multiply, divide. And the additional step for angles, you have to do inverse. And you may find getting the decimal number first for this fraction, and then doing the inverse after that might be easier for you in terms of getting the final answer correct. Alright, so that's all the problems that I'm doing for today. Again, the big reason is because we have students who are taking the Pythagorean theorem, special right triangle retake. So your assignment is the work on problems 13 through 18. We'll do page 3 on at our next class. When you're finished with this, then again, this is homework due for our next class. Transition to the Delta Math assignment, which is due on Sunday. There are 30 problems. There's Pythagorean theorem, right triangle trig, and law of sines. Just kind of combination, and simplifying square roots. So it's a combination of 4 different topics. Any questions on 13 through 18 or the Delta Math assignment, please bring your questions to your next class.